And Brenda's laughing. Hello, everybody, and Ambassadors of Hope. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Today is Sunday. It's August 27th. I cannot believe that summer is almost over. Labor Day holiday is upon us, and that for me always signifies the last of summer. But we are spending some time tonight. Thank you very much for joining me to go through the compensation plan and understanding some of the nuances so that it can work for you. You don't need to understand all of it to make money, but it certainly helps when you're trying to strategize and understand and even explain it to other potentials or customers. So I'm going to try to hit some of those highlights tonight, and then we'll open it up for questions. And even as we go, if you have questions, just give me a wave and we can stop and do that as well. The intent is to have a slideshow and a presentation and a recording that others who are not able to join us tonight can go back to and watch. So with that, I will get started in going through the presentation. And just want to let you know, of course, in case this is listened to other places, this event is brought to you by an independent Plexus ambassador. It is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. Plexus Worldwide wants you to know that the results you have heard and are about to hear may vary from person to person. We do not claim to cure, treat, diagnose, or prevent any disease. So the Plexus business is pretty amazing. If you're watching this, more than likely you are an ambassador already, and you already know some of the great benefits about our products. We have effective products that the masses need, and I just went through our catalog and counted these. We have 18 products. That's all. So many places have so many more. And the most important thing, and I'll show you this percentage later as well, is that 65% of sales are actually from customers. That's a really important fact to remember, because it means that people who have no financial benefit at all are buying our products because they work. It's a huge number, and one that actually is exciting when you start understanding more of the network marketing business. It's $34.95 to start your own business. No sales quotas, parties, inventory. There's no penalty for quitting. Promotions are not based on product sales. That's one of the things that we're going to talk about in more detail tonight, is those rank advancements, which are promotions. In many other companies, you will see that they are actually based on product sales. And so you will see people with entire garages that are full of inventory because that's what they need to keep their promotions, or their cars, or something like that. And Plexus is not like that. So with that comes a little bit of a different thinking there as well. Another thing that is super important is that if one of your legs advances beyond you, you don't lose them. They continue to be part of your business organization. Very unique to Plexus. It is not like that in other places. And then after you reach the very top rank, oh, I was like, wait a minute, I was reading my notes wrong. Once you reach the top rank, you can re-enter under yourself and duplicate yourself, kind of clone it. And then the other thing that is really beneficial to this is once you have reached the second rank of gold, you can actually sign up your spouse too. And so that also can be a strategy for building your business and building your income by being able to duplicate that and build a spouse who is under you. Definitely some strategy that goes with that. We don't need to talk about that now, but it is something to talk about. And this is also a legacy business. It can actually be willed to a family member or to anything else. It is a standalone entity with residual income that will continue, and you can share that with others, which is pretty amazing. So with that, I'm going to cover, we get paid 11 different ways. This is the compensation plan, just a summary chart. This is where I want to spend a good chunk of our time, and I'm actually going to stop sharing this screen and share a different one with you that has this in a bigger format so that we can look at it better. Let's see, I have to share this screen, and we'll do this one. Okay, so let me see if I can. There are, like I said, 11 different ways that you can get paid. They are listed over here on the right-hand side of this. This chart and document is actually in our team page as well. So you can use the search icon in Facebook and look for comp plan. And I will also make sure that this updated one is in there. The one thing too, you do not need to know it all to be able to learn from, to earn from this, which is also a really great thing. So personal volume and retail profit. So you actually earn commission on your own sales as well as the sales that are running through your back office. Many other companies actually require you to have personally a specific number of your own personal sales to be able to even keep your business running. I have been involved in one of these before, and I had to have at least $300 of my own personal money to keep the legs of my business open. Plexus is not like that. You just need to have 100 PV. PV stands for personal volume running through your website, and that can be from either you or any of your customers, whether they be retail customers or preferred customers. There's a personal volume override commission. This is one of those things that when you have an ambassador that you have enrolled, you will earn commission on their sales also, on their personal volume. You receive 5%, it's a reduced percentage, but 5% on any of their sales over 100 PV. I love this because you're still getting a piece of it, but you're not earning a ton of money from it. And the reason that they have done this is so that you can't ride the coattails to financial victory, if you will, on some of your rock stars who might have a huge dollar amount of personal volume running through every single month. The preferred customer program. This is awesome, and I love this, and this is one of the questions that has come up before is if you have somebody who needs to earn money, and that's a primary concern of theirs, you make more money on a monthly basis from a preferred customer than you do from an ambassador. That is true. You get, and the reason for that is because we get paid on commission. Anything over 100 PV, you will get paid commission on it. Plus, any preferred customers that you have, every time they have an order that goes through on a monthly basis, you're also receiving a preferred bonus on that. A triplex is an example of this. Every time you have a customer that purchases a triplex, you will you will earn a $20 preferred bonus on that in addition to your commission. So you can see, like if we'll just call the triplex PV as 101, if you already have 100 PV going through your back office and you're qualifying for 15% in commission, you're going to earn $15 in commission plus $20 in preferred bonuses. So that there adds up. That's $35 just on that one sale, which is wonderful. And so it's always great to have a really good mix, a balanced mix of both preferred customers and ambassadors so that you can build a strong business and a foundation because of how each of these different ways play into your monthly income. Business building bonuses. So this is how you get paid when you sponsor a brand new ambassador into your organization. So there's two different welcome packs that can be purchased when you have somebody who signs up. That means they've signed up for $34.95 and they have purchased either a $99 welcome pack or a $199 welcome pack. From that welcome pack, you get paid plus 3 levels above you get paid on that purchase of that welcome pack. And so you're getting some big dollars right away. So that can add up as well when you start recruiting people. And this is one of those things that you want to keep in mind is it's not just who you recruit, it is who they recruit. And so one of the things that I know that I want to spend a lot of time on and is one of my favorite subjects is the power of 3. And that's the concept of when you bring in a new ambassador who is interested in working the business, you want to train them to find 3 people to join them right away so that they go silver. Silver is the first rank, and we'll talk about that. So you're going to train them to get 3 people, and then they're going to train those 3 people to go get 3 people. And this is where really that power happens in trickling down. And that's where the money continues. That's where the residual income happens, as well as the pay points that we get paid on. And so you just want to start that snowball running, because that's where you're going to start building a team, and it's going to be on everybody, not just yourself, to build an organization. And that's really where the power comes into that. So when somebody signs up with you with a $99 welcome pack, you get paid $24.99 from that, from the 99 pack. If they buy the $199 one, you get $50. So that adds up very quickly when you have a team that is growing and continually adding new ambassadors to your organization. So that keeps adding up. Achievement bonuses, these happen once you reach a rank. And so I'm going to slide this over here just to look at this side on the ranks. When you reach the first rank of silver, you'll see here that you get, and that's by adding 3 people to your team, you receive a one-time achievement bonus of $100. When you reach any subsequent rank after that, it is based on the number of points in your organization. So the first one is based on number of people, which is 3. And then Gold Ambassador is based on the number of points in your organization, which is 100 points. That is roughly equal to about 20 people in your organization. They do not have to be all just yours. They can be from anybody down below you. Plus, you need, well, not plus, but 15 of those points need to come from someone other than your primary leg. Your primary leg is where most of your points are coming from. So if you have a member of your team that has been adding a bunch of people, and you're getting maybe 40 points of your organization from them, you need to get the rest of your points from somewhere else, more than 15 of those from somebody else. Not more than 15, at least 15 from somebody else. And again, this is developed so that you're not riding the coattails of one rock star to the top. I love how they have built this in here the whole way. When you reach gold, you get a $250 one-time bonus. And then so on. It goes up from there. Senior gold is you need to have 250 points in your organization. 40 of those need to be from outside your primary leg. And then you get the one-time achievement bonus. This grid and graph is laid out like this so that you can see how many points you need to have in your organization to reach that rank, and how many points need to be outside of your primary leg, and then the bonus that you get from that. The points, and this is where this is important, is each of your different levels have different points. So we get paid on 7 levels deep, and that is if I recruit somebody, they're my level 1. If they then recruit somebody, they're my level 2. And so on and so forth on down the line, and we get paid 7 levels deep. Each one of those levels are worth a different point value. So your first 3 levels are worth 5 points each, which is why it's so important to spend time with your whole team, especially your levels 1 through 3, to help them build their business. Because as they're recruiting people, those people are also worth 5 points in your organization. It really helps to get the training solid, make sure that everybody knows what's happening, and you can just build from there. And that's how that goes up into your point values. And then that's one of the ways that we get paid as well. So I've talked about the achievement bonuses, which we just covered over there, the 1 times. The Fast Start Achievement Bonus, this is something that is important for people who might be interested in working the business specifically. And if they achieve a rank beyond silver in their first 30 days, those one-time bonuses will actually double. It's a super great way for people who are super excited about working the business. You can do this in a strategy kind of format as well. If you know that they're interested in doing that, then don't sign them up until you've had lots of conversations and maybe some pre-training so that they can get familiar with that and they can start having pre-conversations with other people as well. And again, that concept of knowing 3 people, knowing 3 people, knowing 3 people can come into that, and they can fast start gold, ruby, or even senior ruby, and double some of those bonuses that are coming up. So that's that fast start achievement bonus. The plexus points or pay points, this is something that this is where these points come into play. And so when you have points in your organization, at the end of the month, Plexus has a calculation that they do with all of the sales that have happened in all of Plexus for everybody, and they calculate a pay point value. The more PV that each person has in sales every month increases the value of that pay point. This is something that is hard to talk about in a short meeting, but it is something that I feel very strongly about, and why we want to qualify people so that we keep the value of that pay point strong. If we have people who are having less than 100 PV in our organization, it actually waters down that pay point value, and it affects not just yourself, but the entire organization and everybody who is getting paid, because it waters down that value. So that's just, again, one of 11 ways that we get paid is on those Plexus pay points. And then once we get, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here since we're really just talking about the basics and how to make this work for us. The first jewel level is emerald, and then there's sapphire and diamond is at the top of our rank advancements, I guess, if you will. Each one of those jewels actually get a monthly percentage that goes into their paycheck. So rather than having a one-time achievement bonus, they're getting an additional 3% for emerald. Actually, and then it's 4% for sapphire, which is the 3% plus an additional 1%, and then diamond, which is the 3% plus the 1% plus the 1%. So that's an additional 5% of profit sharing bonuses that go into their checks every single month. This is one of the top reasons why you want to build a team. Each of those checks at each of those levels is probably, the last I heard, at least $2,000 or more per rank. So that's an additional, like if you're looking at that $6,000 just in that every single month. It's not a one-time achievement bonus, it's every single month that that's happening. That adds up. You can't get there if you're not building a team. And then once you get to 6,000 points in the organization, you can actually re-enter under yourself as a diamond re-entry, and you get to build and do it all over again, which is just absolutely unheard of. We actually have 2 people in our company that have done this. They are our upline, which is pretty amazing. Jen Hawkins and her roommate from college was actually the first one who achieved it. And so we have 2 double diamonds that are actually in our own personal Plexus family, which is very exciting. So all of this is just a summary of it. And again, you don't have to know it all to understand it or even to earn it. And for me, when I very first started, I printed this out and I carried it with me everywhere. And I just studied it and tried to make sense of it and just referred to it all the time of what is it that I need to do, where am I going, and how do I strategize to get there. I am a numbers person though, so I understand that not everybody is going to do that, but these are the things that made me giddy to the point where I was like, okay, I can do this, this is simple. I know that that's going over this very quickly, but that I think is the basics of 11 ways to earn. So let me go back to my slideshow and See? Okay, so that's our 11 ways that we get paid. Now you might end up with finding somebody, oops, sorry, who is only interested in maybe not working the business, but they might want to get a discount on their products or get their products paid for. This is an example, and if you have somebody, we can actually run some more numbers. These numbers here are based on the pricing pre-June of 2017. I have not updated this to include the new pricing and the new PV, but it gives you an example of what's happening. So if you have an ambassador who is buying the Plexus Triplex for themselves, they have PV of 101, which means that they are commission qualified. You need to have at least 100 PV going through your website to be commission qualified. If you then have 3 preferred customers that are also buying the Triplex, you're getting paid on commission, and then you're also getting paid on those preferred bonuses that I was talking about. So in this scenario, you would have $111 with the combination of those PVs and those preferred bonuses that you would be getting paid at the end of the month. That is enough to pay for your Triplex if you have 3 of those preferred customers and you're buying it yourself. The other option is this. If you have, if you're signing up ambassadors, you have your Triplex again, which is 101, which qualifies you for commission. And if you have 3 ambassadors who join with the welcome pack, you get the $74.25 in welcome pack price that comes to you. Or if they're buying the big welcome pack, that's $149 that's coming back to you in those business building bonuses that we talked about. Plus, when you hit silver for the first time, you would have an additional $100 bonus. So here's where every month, if you are building a team, that this adding ambassadors can actually add up to be more than preferred customers. One of the goals when you're building a team, and if you have somebody who needs the money, you want to have them working the business. And so a good goal is to go silver, platinum silver, which is adding 3 new preferred customers and 3 new ambassadors every month. And those ambassadors don't need to be just theirs. They can be through the whole team as well. And then they're getting paid pay points, which is about $3 per pay point. And they're getting paid these bonuses, the business building bonuses that are coming in. And then the rank advancement bonuses that come in here as well. So one of the things that you can keep in mind is if you have if you have preferred customers that are coming in, and they really love the business, they might know somebody who they can share with, you might offer to them to convert to an ambassador so that they can then share it with somebody else. And that's where that really the beauty of residual income and compounding comes into play, because then they will be able to share, their people will be able to share, and that's really where you can't. That's the beauty of network marketing, is when that model works. And unless you have ambassadors, you're not able to tap into that. So that's one of those things where you're really trying to balance out the immediate needs of cash needs, which you definitely get more from a preferred customer sale every single month, but the potential for building a bonus or for building a team is so much greater by adding ambassadors to your thing, to your organization. So it's really that a strategy of immediate needs plus the eye on the future of where you're going and how you're going to continue to grow your business by adding new ambassadors, because they just keep growing that way. And you don't have to do anything. Like, it just becomes a snowball where people start sharing and you're not doing anything, but you're benefiting from it because you're getting paid on it. So this, I've already talked about this, of the power of 3, and you can do it. And really what we want to do with every single person in our organization is to always ask them, who do they know? Even if they just want to get a discount, this is the way that they do it, by sharing it with other people. And you can see truly the power of that when you start looking at this, which is if we had 3 people who found 3 people, who found 3 people, and each one of those people found 3. And 3, I'm always like, this number is amazing because we all know 3 people. This shows the compounding effect of the number of ambassadors that would actually be in your organization, all of those levels down, if each person just found 3. And then it talks about the points that you're getting paid for each one of those and the cumulative effect of it here. So just by 3 people finding 3 people, your cumulative points here, this 4,893 points, which is just 3 people finding 3 people all the way down, which doesn't really happen. Like, you have to find more than 3 people to make these numbers work, but this is really where the power is. That 4,893 points is enough for you to be emerald in Plexus. No, so sorry, diamond. I'm like, wait a minute, I have the numbers wrong. That would get you to diamond. And so you're already earning you're earning pay points on that. You're earning 5% additional bonuses. And so this just talks about this. If you had 4,893 points in your organization, just by 3 people getting 3 people all the way down, that is $14,679 a month in one of the 11 ways that we get paid. And if you have, let's see, here's where this number comes in. To earn this much, to earn $14,679, with just preferred customers, you would have to have $59,000 in PV to earn that in commission. So that's where that power of 3 comes in, is that you get that by getting your organization to grow without you. And then you have a little bit of preferred customers, always having a goal of like maybe 500 PV, 500 to 1,000 PV. Excuse me. Swoop. So that's where that power comes in. And so definitely there's some instant and immediate needs that are being met with a preferred customer, with commission and preferred bonus, and then rolling those people over to be ambassadors so that you're continuing to build that team and that basis so that you have growing power beyond just the commission that's needed from a preferred sale, for example. The annual income, this is a statement. This is also available in our back office. If you just go to your main page, as if you were signing on as a customer under your website, and you say opportunity, if you click on the opportunity and you go all the way down to the bottom, this is saved out there. You can send people to this link, your own link, for them to look at the business. You can look at the updated PDFs when they get there. But this shows you the average annual income that each of these different ranks make. This document also has the income disclosure on here. It's always important, if you're sharing about the income opportunity, that if you're using this document, you're fine. But if you're using anything else, you have to manually put in this income disclosure, because it all depends on how people are working the business. There is no guarantees of income, and that's an important thing. This also shows here that graphic that I was talking about with the percentage of sales that are coming from customers. When you read anything about viable network marketing companies, they say that you should look for a network marketing company that has at least 30% of their sales coming from customers. Look at ours. Ours is flipped around. We have 65% coming from customers. We have less than a 1% return rate, even though we have a 60-day money-back guarantee for both ambassadors as well as customers, because we have products that work. if they're taken the way that they're supposed to be used and consistently. This right here is just really a statement to the financial stability of our company, which is huge when people are wondering, is this thing going to be around? We want to make sure that we're highlighting these things, that we are definitely a financially stable company. We are debt-free with the exception of the lease that our building is on, which is huge. So you can talk about the average income here. If you look at the Silver Ambassador, which is right here, it's the third one. Oops, I click and I don't want it to move. This $5,000 a month is about $422. Let me see if I can expand that. Is it small? I can't get it any bigger. It's $422 a month. And it is said that people having $200 more a month can save a house. It's the difference between them losing their home. And so when we can say that there's, if you're working this and you're having a balance of customers and ambassadors, that this is the average. That's super helpful for people who are who need some money. Go the other direction. We know the perks. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. The Emerald is where we get the car and the trip to Hawaii, and then it just continues going on from there. White cars when you're Emerald, black cars when you're Diamond. I love this just because this talks about our business model here in network marketing. And this is the typical job in a corporate job where you've got the CEO at the top, and what happens there? Everybody just gets pooped on as you go. And we get to be at the top of this, and we're not pooping on anybody. We rise by lifting others. I love that statement in this business, because the more you're helping your people grow down here, the more you're growing because of the business model. So we always want to ask, who do you know? And because again, that power of 3 is so, so very important, that it really is what helps us grow through this whole thing. So let me share, let me see if there's anything else. I have a comp plan. The power of 3, we've already talked about that. Okay, so I think that I have covered all of the different documents that I wanted to cover. Let me see if I've covered on my notes what I wanted to cover. So some of the things in our team page, there is a video that is done by Natalie Foller, F-O-E-L-L-E-R. You can search for her. I think I actually found that I've put that document or that video in there probably 4 or 5 times. She actually did some research and interviewed over 25 different network marketing companies across the country before she decided to go with Plexus. And she decided to go with Plexus because of the compensation plan. She talks about how it's different, why it's different. That is something that you can listen to yourself, and it's also something that you can share with other people, especially people who have some experience in network marketing. They will really appreciate those differences and how she spells them out. Let's see, Silver is the very first rank. It's the only one that's based on people. It's 3 people that you need to add to your organization. After Silver, it's based on points. And those points are, again, based on the level that they are in your organization. So that's something to keep in mind. And the points come in as you add people when people have 100 PV go through their website as an ambassador, either through their own sales or their customer sales. That is what turns the light switch on for you to earn those points. So it is a commission qualified ambassador, at least 100 PV that's going through, and then you get paid on those points. That's also one of those things to keep in mind. When you reach a rank, it's based on points. And so for you to retain your rank or go to the next rank, you have to have all of those points being active at the same time. And it happens like this: the more retail customers or wholesale ambassadors you've got, if they're not consistent in ordering their products, you're not going to get paid on their points. And so it's this balancing act all the time of keeping your points turned on, especially as you climb the ranks and you get to that emerald pool. You want to keep attention to that, pay attention to that, because your bonus structure is based on having 1,500 active points in your organization every single month. That's what gives you your 3% bonus. It's also what gets you your stipend for your car. It's also how you qualify to go to Maui every year. So you might see some things that are out there saying, I get a free trip to Maui every year. No, you have to continue earning it. You have to have 1,500 active points in your organization to keep the stipend coming in, to earn your trip to Hawaii, and to earn that 3% bonus every month. So something just to keep in mind is that those points have to be turned on. It's important for us, as we're thinking about this, it is easy for us to be focused on what we need as far as points. And I have found through my journey with this that I oftentimes have to flip that around and remind myself that it's not about me. It is about others. And so when we are talking to other people, I always suggest or recommend leading with the business first, because more people go to bed at night stressed about money than they do about health. And then even before health, they're worrying about weight. It is like crazy to me, but that is true. But if you start with the business, maybe they'll be interested and maybe they won't. And if not, then you've got the products. But if you're pitching the products and they say, I don't want anything to do with that, and then you say, well, how about the business? It's kind of a weird sale. But regardless, as you're talking to them and you're talking to them about their health issues or their needs or their financial needs, remembering what they need is the most important thing. We want to make sure that they're getting what they need. If they are interested in running with the business and working with the business, by all means, we're going to sign them up as an ambassador and help them be successful, help them get 3 people, them get 3 people, etc. If people are interested in just the health benefits and they don't think that they're ever going to sell the products, then suggest preferred customer. They get a better price after their 4th consecutive order. After their first one, they'll get an additional 10% discount, which gives them the price of almost an ambassador pricing. So that's perfect. And you can use language like, if they want to order something less than the triplex, and they say, but I really want the best pricing, you say, that's perfect. You qualify to be a preferred ambassador. Make it exciting for them and make them realize that this is specifically for them. They get to be a preferred customer, and then there's an additional discount, and you qualify to be a preferred customer. So many times I know that we feel bad and they're like, but I want the best price. And they sign up to be an ambassador, and then they're not ordering 100 PV on an ongoing basis. You don't get paid for that. It waters down the pay point value every single month, and so the whole organization is affected by that. And they don't know unless we tell them. And so I often will say, as a business owner, I have an obligation to make sure that I'm doing right by the rest of the shareholders in this organization, which means you qualify to be a preferred customer, and turning that language around for them to be a preferred customer that way. But if we keep in mind what they need, we will find the best option and best opportunity for them, which in turn will end up being what we need in our business as well. It's a nice mix of preferred customers with ambassadors, constantly looking for that platinum silver opportunity every single month to add 3 ambassadors and 3 customers. There are recognition programs that Plexus has in place so that when we're doing that, when we're adding a balance of preferred plus ambassadors, you get recognition for it every single month in the form of Consistency Club. There's Consistency Club 300, 500, and 700. And you get recognition at convention, and then also monetary investments and monetary rewards, and also some prizes, which is fun. But that's why they do that. they're leading us down the way to build a really good solid foundation in our business. And by following their lead and what they're promoting for us to do, we'll be going down the right path. Let's see, power of 3. I think that's really, yep, I think that's what I wanted to cover as far as the basics of the comp plan, some of the things that I have heard people ask, and the strategy. And so I want to open it up to you if you have any questions that might be helpful for either yourself or for others who are watching this video later. There's all different kinds of ways that we can crack this. So do you guys have questions? I can unmute you all. I wonder if I can unmute you all at the same time. Unmute. There's Angela off and unmute. You guys are all unmuted. And Brenda just giggles.
Yeah, she does the maniacal laugh.
Yes.
So as a silver ambassador, you do get paid on those pay points. You don't have to wait until you're a jewel to get paid on the pay points.
That's right. Every time you have any ambassador who has at least 100 PV going through your website or through their website and they become commission qualified, you get paid on those points. You get paid on those points even before you're silver. So if you only have 1 or 2 ambassadors underneath you and they have 100 PV going through their website and they're commission qualified, you get paid on those points as well.
Okay. And then about the legacy company, does that means when you die, basically, you can will it to someone else, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
So are you willing them only the residual income, or could they jump in and take your place and continue to build the business?
They can continue to build the business as well.
Okay.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, because imagine not having to start at the bottom.
Right, exactly, exactly. Yeah, so they get your organization and the residual income that goes with that, plus the opportunity to step into your shoes and move it.
What if that person was already an ambassador? Like, say if I enrolled my daughter and then I died and I willed my business to her, would she just like rank up into my position?
That's a good question, and I'm not sure about the rank part of that, but she definitely would get your organization. And interestingly enough, Natalie Fuller, who I mentioned, when she first did her video, it was her and her husband. And her husband was an ambassador as well, and her husband has since passed away. And she got his business as well. I'm not sure which one of them she is working or how that actually worked. But I bet you we could find out some more information in detailed FAQs about that. But yeah, it's pretty cool to have a legacy business. Just today, I was like, who am I going to leave that to? My cats.
Your cats. That's
But I think, yes, so you definitely get paid on those points. If you're constantly rolling people over, you have that basis, that foundation of earning some income. And for myself, like I said, I like to have, I have higher PV. That's because we have a family of 3 that uses all of these products. So I'm always looking to have customers that are having $500 to $800 in PV outside of mine. And that gives me a solid foundation of other customers that adds to the PV, plus then building rank with the right people by adding them as ambassadors. And then you do get paid on their points as ambassadors, and then 5% of their PV over 100 for all of your level 1s. You get paid on their PV as well. So like my PV this month just hit almost 1900. And so since I am Trisha's level 1, she is getting paid 5% commission on everything on mine over the first 100. So she's earning income there, plus she's also earning points on me.
People have to be 18 to get signed up, right?
Yes, really good question. And that actually just happened. My friend who she just turned Emerald in Nebraska, I was talking to her the other day on the phone, and all of a sudden she realized somehow she ended up with a 16-year-old on her team in high school. And she's like, what just happened? Like, how did that happen? And there's nothing in the system for it to stop it, but you do need to be 18. And we don't know exactly why, but yes, you need to be 18.
Because it's a legally binding contract.
Yes.
Yeah. You need to be an adult.
Yeah, you know. So, yeah, you definitely need to be 18.
So what if you have customers that are like, you have someone starting and they're real apprehensive about, I don't know if I can afford all that. I don't know if I want to take all that stuff. Like I've been trying to kind of just get people to try one thing, like start with one thing. And then next month you'll have 2 things. And then the next month you'll have 3 things, just build, kind of like start with one thing, and just once that thing doesn't kill them, then they might want to try another one.
Right.
Because some people think that anything healthy is going to kill them.
Yes.
And then, by like 4 months, hopefully they're taking 4 products, and then they're at 100 PV. Because now they've reached the point where they qualify to be an ambassador.
Yeah, and here's the other thing.
They've shown their commitment over that amount of time that they're going to stick with the product, that they're not just going to try one thing and then fly out the window,
right.
On to the next one.
I think, like even in that situation too, where you have somebody who is taking 4 products, and so they're definitely over their 100 PV. If they are, like, the best ambassadors are those who believe in the products and they want to share. So if they're already having great results and people are asking them, what do you want to do? Or what are you doing? I want to feel like you do. It makes sense. Like if they're finding people they want to share with, then definitely roll them over to an ambassador, because other PV will also count towards that. But even if you have somebody who is taking a ton of products and they will never sell a thing, I would keep some of those as preferred customers. I actually have one who, she has money out the yin-yang. Her husband needs all of these products. I know she will never share anything. I'm keeping her as a preferred customer. Like, even though because she will get the same pricing as an ambassador.
Yes.
After the 4th order. And so it's not doing her any disservice. She's going to get the best pricing, and it gives me a really good solid base for earning income, which I need.
Right. And that makes sense, because she's not financially strapped. Like, it's not going to come to a point where she says, I can't take Plexus anymore because I can't afford it.
That's right. And then, so your point there too is valid for people who love the products, but they're having a financial issue. Then you start talking about the business. And even before they're taking a full triplex because they can't afford it, we're asking the question, who do you know? Who do you know that could either use the business or could use the products? And not everybody they know is going to have the same kind of financial strap that they might be experiencing. And so you get them to start thinking, and using that example of just 3. If you found 3 people, how could that discount your monthly stuff so that you could even take more products, or you could just keep taking Slim, but you're earning some other income before they're even able to take all the products themselves.
Right.
I got a question about the $100. So kind of on that note, I had one person that she really needs she's losing her house. She's losing her rental, and she really wants the product, but she won't join because she can't afford it. But then she needs a job, but she won't join Plexus. So it's like, okay. So she needs my Mack truck to hit her. But
Yes.
I was trying to explain to her, is it right if I say to her, you just have to have 100 through your organization before you make money, or do you personally have to have that 100?
It's just 100 through your website.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's not you personally at all.
That's right.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep. And that's huge. And some people might question you, which would make you doubt yourself, because most other organizations, you have to have your own. It can't be the
example on something of a guy who joined Plexus. He never, ever, ever took one single product. He just sold it like crazy because he recognized the comp plan. And he didn't care about the products. He never took any products. He just sold them like crazy. And he ended up making a lot of money.
Yeah. I can't imagine not ever taking our products, but yes, it's possible.
That was my plan. I was just getting in for the business.
Right? Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think, for people who have financial constraints and they are hesitant and they don't see that vision, that's where we share stories, because stories that hit their heart is what's going to cause them to go, like, are you about to lose your house? There are Diamond documentaries for it. There are the stories like what Angela was just telling of somebody who picked it up for the business only, and we're able to help them see what $400 would do and show them financially, like numbers, how could you actually do that? And I'm a numbers girl, so if you need help putting together numbers to show that to a specific person, by all means. I mean, shoot, you've got a team full of accountants, so I'm not the only one. And they can paint those numbers to show. And I think oftentimes people just can't imagine themselves in that situation or being successful because it's scary. And so showing and really sharing kind of that opportunity where they could go, well, why not me? Why not me?
Yeah. When I opened up my 4-year career book, and right at the beginning of there, it says the 5 things that make you successful as a network marketer or whatever. And it said, you have to like talking to people. You have to like helping people. You have to be coachable and something else. And I was like, well, I'm none of those things except coachable. That's it.
Ever.
Because I hate people. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm none of those things except coachable.
But you care about people and you like to help them. Like, you light up with Chris and your family, and we all know you're starting with the hardest people that there are, because they're the ones that bite us the hardest.
Touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yes, exactly.
I'm right there with you, girl.
It's so frustrating.
Yes. So you're right. I mean, you just have to be, there's so many different resources, and there's tools, and there's training for people who've never done it. I'm always amazed by the number of people who are at the top of our organization who have never done network marketing before.
Yeah, I'm kind of amazed too that some of the people who are at the very top, like, they don't have college degrees.
Yeah.
Some of them, they got married and started having babies the minute they graduated from high school. So they have no education. They've never had a real job.
Yep.
And it's just like, really?
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I think, like, I look at that too, and they don't know any different.
Yeah, they don't know that what they're doing is ridiculous. Like,
Right.
they don't know.
Right. They believe it 100%. I know. I look at that and I'm like, they are absolutely the most successful. Oh my gosh, how do you just let go of all that, the garbage that we have told ourselves?
Because we're all over here, you know, hardcore subscribers to the 40-40-40 plan. And it's hard to change your mind. It's hard to open your mind to be receptive that this is actually possible.
Yes.
Right. And what we're doing is ridiculous.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're the smart ones. By the pigeons.
Exactly.
Yes. I think, I mean, and it's true. I think I find myself, that's why I OD on the Richard Bliss Brooke Hero Series calls every single week or every other week, because I need to remind myself that I am not nuts, that this works.
Yeah.
You know what? I yesterday at football, a lot of these parents are all private school owned or like opposite, or what, I can't think of the word, but they're not public school for them. Mm-hmm. But they're so, like, they want their kids to learn in a different way and they want them to do all this other stuff. And I'm like, but yet you're subscribing to this 40-40-40 plan. What are you teaching your kids? What are you doing? Like, they look at me like I'm an idiot. And I'm like, no. I'm like, if you're teaching your kids that there's another way of learning, then why won't you be open to learning that there's a different way of earning money? It's just, I don't know.
That's why, so I can't tell you how many people, third-party tools are huge in not you trying to sell something, but to get the word out there. So the 4-Year Career, that book, we can buy it in discount for like $2 a book and give it to people. I love the fact that you want to do something different for your kids and it's a different way of thinking. My mind was blown when I read this. And give them the book and highlight a couple of stories, Sarah Marble being one of them, and just say, look at a couple of these like stories in the back. And if they start digging into that, they themselves will go, oh, because it was when I read that book that I was like, oh, what the hell have I been doing 40-40-40 for?
That's a good idea.
It's powerful, and all of those people, and they're not chosen because they use the 4-Year Career as part of their training, but unsolicited, all of these people that are on that Hero Series call will say that some of the most important things that they use for tools are those third-party validations, and his book is one that people go, here.
Because it's really short.
It is really short.
It's an easy read.
It's a quick read. And and we could, if we, as a team, if we wanted to order in bulk, we could go together and just make a big order and then split the cost.
Yes, yes.
So we don't have to,
huge.
You know, dump a whole bunch of money in.
Yep. We can absolutely do that. And that's anything, and that's why I love the tools that we have in our back office in the shareables, because it's somebody other than us saying this stuff. Not that we want to graphic people to death on our pages, but to share those videos and say, what do you think about this? I would love your feedback. And it's super simple to be able to do that. There's powerful stories too on just the business and the opportunity. There's 3 different videos that are out there. I don't know if you guys have watched them. There's one, a woman who's recently divorced and has 2 kids, and the only way she was able to stay in her house is because of Plexus income. There's another guy who, he might be retired Army or something, and he might be he's a bodybuilder, and talks about building his business with supplements. And then there's one other, which I haven't listened to, but those videos are out there too, and it's all business related, and they're really relatable people, and you can share those videos with people also. Anywhere that we can share those tools there, it's more powerful.
Yeah.
I just find it absolutely crazy that you can be a diamond if, hypothetically speaking, you had 7 people running the business.
Right?
7 to be a diamond to make that insane amount of money? Are you serious?
Right? I mean, and that's where, I mean, so truly, that's where, like,
it's mind-boggling.
The power of 3. I carried that document around with me too. I don't have one sitting in front of me, but I laminated the power of 3 on one side and the comp plan on the other, and I would keep it in my bag at work. And when I was feeling like, are you kidding me? I would pull that out and I'd be like, 3. All I need is this power of 3. And to hear Jen say it, Kim Pollock has said it, like when Jen was, gosh, what was she? She must have been, she was diamond already, but she only had 4 people who were running.
Yeah.
And it's just how that goes. And that's truly the power of it all.
It's just finding those 4 people.